Absolutely delighted now to be joined by Jennifer Corbin and Kevin Davis. Both welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Good
very
morning.
much. Yes, good morning. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, plenary session today, you're both speaking at. Give us a little bit of an insight into what that's all about.
Well, we're excited to be able to present. It's actually the President's plenary session, so it's really an honor. We're halfway through the second decade of the 21st century, and there are different law enforcement challenges and opportunities with each decade, probably with each calendar year. And with the deinstitutionalization of those with mental illnesses really across our country, it's created really challenges for law enforcement on how to deal with persons who suffer from mental illnesses. And the answer most of the time is not with handcuffs, and it's not incarceration. So we've blended some resources together in Anne Arundel County, and we actually take 3 cops full-time and blend them with Jennifer's mental health professionals, and we follow up with these persons and families in crisis after critical incidents occur.
But why is it such a big problem in the first place?
Well, because most of the calls coming in right now are mental health related, because there's not enough hospitals to treat people and the inpatient stays are so short. What you're finding are people are running out of their meds, and the best go-to is 911. So what we've done is we've trained 7 officers, 4 that are outside of the CIT team that are in patrol, and what we do is we train them to work with the mentally ill. And pairing them with a clinician allows us to have a more positive outcome, get them medicated again, and get them to be, an active member in society and not put in our jails.
And what kind of results are you seeing from this kind of intervention?
Well, in the first couple of months, we've seen a reduced call in 911. For example, we had one gentleman who in a month and a half had called 32 times. Since CIT, our crisis intervention team, has been meeting with him, and they go out every other day and just visit with him, make sure he's on his meds. He's only called 6 times in September and October. So that's a big change for us. That allows for patrol to be on the street and not visiting him every day.
And I'll say this, we had 497,000 calls for police service just in 2013 alone. Of those 497,000 calls, only 16,000 of those calls were for actual crimes. So that, harkens the question, what are all those other things that the police are responding to? And a lot of times it's people with mental illnesses who are in crisis and their families are in crisis. We take 5 people into custody every day and take them to local hospitals for emergency psychiatric evaluations. So that is an inordinate use of our resources, and we think that it's short-sighted for law enforcement to just live in that moment. We've got to do something the day after.
I think everywhere you go around this conference, and obviously with the President's intervention this year, everybody's talking about this particular issue. Do you think that the sort of solution that you guys are working on could be rolled out more widely?
I do. I think that even if you don't have the funding, building relationships is what's important with your ERs and your prisons, finding out who's coming in or being brought in by the police every day, every couple of days. They're high utilizers. And just finding out when they're there and allowing for a mental health agency to follow them, or some collaboration between mental health agencies and police, can reduce those need for service for patrol to have to come out and service them.
I ask this question in roll calls all the time, and when I interact with cops at the gas pumps or in hallways. Tell me the names of people and families in your beat who you never arrest, but are constantly requiring police resources. And those are the folks that we need to concentrate on, because the community expects us to be, lock up burglars and robberies and homicides and sexual assaults and thefts. But law enforcement is more and more distracted from its traditional role because we're dealing with folks with mental illnesses, and we just have to find a way as a profession to get better on it. And we think, at least for 2014, we've got a model that just could work for other folks.
That's great. Well, thank you both very much indeed for taking the time this morning to talk to us. Really appreciate it. It's such an interesting topic. Thank you.
Thank you.